Welcome to Tin Roof Chef. This is our first episode. We don't have an open yet, but we do have a coffee cup, so this is it. I hope you enjoy the show. Hello, welcome to Tin Roof Chef. My name is John Franklin and I'm your host. This show is going to be focused on cooking outdoors. You may see me here in my outdoor kitchen. You may see me in other locations. You may see me cooking over an open fire. But all the cooking will be done outdoors because food that's cooked outdoors tastes better. I want to welcome my guest, Barry Larson.
Thank you.
Barry is a filmmaker and recently did a film that was in the Louisiana Film Prize competition. And I believe it did very well. It was a finalist, wasn't it?
Yeah. The movie was called Gazebo, and luckily we made it into the top 20, so we got to have our movie shown around the world this time, which was pretty awesome. It was a lot of work, big payoff, and it was a lot of fun.
And it's available on YouTube, correct?
It is on YouTube. Thank you for the plug. The Gazebo Larson. Check it out.
And are there any other film festivals you're entering in coming up?
We're kind of waiting for the pandemic stuff. I want to go to the festival and be able to show it and talk to people and all that stuff. Right now, that's not happening, so very soon.
Good. Well, I'm looking forward to hearing how you do in other festivals.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
I want to tell you a little bit about what we're preparing today. We're doing cheeseburgers, but we're doing a spin on cheeseburgers. Don't want to do anything boring. I really like seafood, and so what I've come up with is a crab and beef cheeseburger. Just to basically tell you what's going to be in it before you actually see it prepared. It's going to be 2 pounds of ground beef, 1 pound of finely chopped up crab meat, imitation crab meat, a couple of eggs to make it all stick together, some Worcestershire sauce, and some Creole seasoning. And you can use any one you like, Tony's, Slappy Mama, or anything else you find out there that is a good Creole seasoning. In a future episode, actually, we'll make some of my own, and I'll show you what I put in it. But that's not for today. And I guess without anything else, let's go ahead and get to cooking. I already have my ground beef in a bowl. I'm going to add my crab meat. One thing about doing the crab meat is you want to chop it up very, very fine. Think about it, you have ground meat, which is very fine, but you don't want huge chunks of the crab meat. First of all, you'll have bites then that have more crab meat in it than others do. So the first thing I'm going to do is chop this crab meat up very fine. Just give it a little rough chop to start with. And just chop it until it is basically flakes apart. Takes a few minutes to do it this way, but it's worth it. If you don't have a knife like this, a meat cleaver would also do pretty well to hold on to with both hands while you chop it up. All right, I'm gonna gather that up and put it in the bowl with my ground meat. Don't want to waste any because it's very good. All right. Next thing I'm going to do is add some seasoning to this. I have just a smidgen of Creole seasoning here. And you know what? I don't think I put enough in the bowl. I always need a little extra. We also have Worcestershire sauce, or however you pronounce it. And I'm just going to mix that all up together. I have another ingredient, but I want to get this thoroughly incorporated before I add my other ingredient. I'm going to need 2 eggs. And there went one of the whisks, but that's okay. I have another one. I'll grab it in a second. So the eggs basically serve as a binder to hold these patties together. You don't have to get them totally mixed, just enough to give them a pretty good stir there. And then once again, I'm going to work these patties. A note on gloves. When working with raw meat, I really do like to wear gloves. First of all, it makes it a lot easier to clean my hands when I'm done. They're not all greasy. But second of all, it is a much safer way to handle things. So I know for a while their gloves were hard to find, but they've become easier to find recently. Okay, now if you can see this, it's coming into a pretty good sized ball. I mean, it's almost all right there together. So I'm ready to make my patties out. I don't weigh these. I think of a slightly oversized baseball is what I'm looking for. You can go to a softball size if you want a bigger burger. And I'm just going to lay these down on the cutting board as balls for the moment until I get ready to flatten them a little bit. You need to work the meat together like this. What this does is it packs it tighter so your burger is less likely to fall apart. You can use a burger press. You can use anything else. I like the back of this spatula, actually. It works pretty well. This is what you're looking for. Now, this is just my personal belief. I believe life is too short to have burgers that are not decent sized. These are probably close to half a pound, maybe a little bit more, but they're thin enough that they'll cook thoroughly, and they're big enough that when you bite into them, you know you got something. Before I put these on the griddle, I do want to share one thing. I am in Louisiana. I'm from Louisiana, and I like to support regional products. And not to mention, I like the flavor better. Most people would put down a little olive oil or something before they start. I actually use pecan oil. I'm not getting paid by this company. It's not a product placement, but it's Louisiana produced pecan oil. It actually has less saturated fat than olive oil, and it has a higher smoke point, so I can use it for more cooking. So if you can get pecan oil in your area, it is a wonderful thing to use here. If not, anything will work. Butter, olive oil, anything else will work. I just like this. All right. I'm ready to put the hamburger patties on the griddle. Because they are large and the crab meat is not as sturdy, I always transport them on the spatula and slide them off. I don't want to have them fall apart on me. These are going to need to go for about 15 minutes on a low heat. You'll notice I've got the Blackstone on the lowest heat possible. You want it to actually have time to cook thoroughly, and if you want to speed up the process a little bit and cook on top, you can go ahead and close it at this time. Some people will tell you never flip a burger more than once. I'm not one of those people. I like to make sure that they are doing well and get a little char on them first, and then lift them up and flip them over. Now, while I got them flipping them, I'm going to add a little more seasoning. I put seasoning on the tops while I go before I put them on the griddle, and now they're good to go for a few more minutes, and we will get ready to put the cheese and toast our buns. Time for cheese. Now, you'll notice I have 2 burgers and 4 cheese slices. I'd like to double cheese them. That's just my personal preference. I think they're better that way. I want this cheese to melt a little faster, but I'm going to put my little dome over it. I'm going to squirt a little water up under there to create some steam, and that will melt the cheese a little bit faster. If you have a Blackstone, this little device is very handy. You just put 2 sticks of butter in it and let it rock. If you don't have one of these and you have a griddle, I highly recommend that you get one of these. That should be about done, and they are. So they can sit there for a few minutes while the buns toast. Ground beef, crab, and Monterey Jack cheese. Well, enjoy. Let me know what you think about it.
Cheers.
Cheers.
This looks awesome. Oh yeah. Yeah, definitely gonna need some napkins.
Yes, these are kind of juicy. The egg, the fat from the ground beef. It's a juicy burger, but it's a good burger.
Look at that thing. It's huge. Why do you put the egg in there?
To hold the patty together. It kind of serves as a binder to hold it all in place. Because crab meat and ground beef with no egg, you just have a pile of meat.
It's probably tasty, but not as easy to eat, I understand.
So tell me a little bit about the filmmaking process and what all was involved and what were your biggest problems and concerns?
Oh man. It's harder than you think, number one. You see a finished movie and you think, oh, you get people, you make up some words, point a camera, hit record. That's about it, right?
Right.
No. There's trouble around every turn. The best piece of advice I could probably give someone would be never expect things to go smoothly, but always be very excited when things do. You'll have a shot or a scene that you think is going to be, it's 2 lines, you know, super easy. It takes you all day. Or you get ready to shoot the big climactic fight scene or something like that, and it's raining. What are you going to do? You have to wait. And so the best thing to do is to plan ahead as much as you can, and if you get extra time, use it, you know? Time management is extremely important.
Well, a little disclaimer here. Barry and I have been in a play together before, and he's been in a couple of plays that I directed. So we've known each other for a while.
We have.
And his foray into film has really interested me because that's a whole different area that I've not really worked with. So I'm very pleased and was very pleased to see the result of what you got.
Thank you very much, man. I was very excited. We had the support of the entire town. All of Grand Canyon basically came out to help. It was awesome. If you have an idea and you want to make a movie, don't let anything stop you. But don't give up either. You know, there will be tough days, but it is worth it in the end. John is going to make a movie soon too, so watch out.
Well, that's still in the early development stage, maybe in a year or two. Basically right now I have an idea. Now I have to write the script.
Step 1. Yep. Yeah, it's a whole process. I actually wrote the script for the gazebo too, so it was really cool seeing like your idea go full circle. You know? I wrote it years ago and sort of just put it in a drawer on my computer, you know, and didn't think about it. And then Hannah work asked me, "Do you have any ideas?" I said, "I got this thing." And her and Reese were like, "Yeah, this is cool. Let's do this." And I, you know, okay, cool. I didn't really expect it was going to happen. A couple weeks later, like, okay, we're going to do a table read, start looking for locations. And I was like, oh crap, this is really happening. It was a lot of fun.
Well, is this something you'd like to have again?
Heck yeah. I was going to say, it kind of makes me think of Thailand. Yeah, it's kind of, I think it's the crab meat. It has like sort of an oriental flavor to it or something like that. This would go over huge over there. Number one, because nobody can make a good burger.
Really?
They don't know what the hell they're doing. The only good burgers you find are made by people who are living over there that are former Americans, basically. I met the best barbecue I had over there was a guy from Tyler, Texas, moved over there and was making amazing barbecue duck and like kind of exotic stuff. Oh man, it was awesome.
The crab meat doesn't overpower the beef, but it gives it a nice accent, I think.
That's a great way to put it. Yeah, it's like a little extra spice kind of thing in there.
Mm-hmm.
I really thought it would kind of taste more crabby.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Surprisingly, the two flavors go together really well.
They really do.
What do you call this thing? Excuse me.
It's just a crab and beef cheeseburger.
Could you call it a Krabby Patty?
Well, I thought about that, but I didn't want to get in trouble with the SpongeBob people. But yes,
Not a Krabby Patty.
the thought Krabby Patty did cross my mind, but I don't think that's going to be a good thing. Barry, thank you for coming today. I appreciate you coming in.
Yeah, no problem.
And I appreciate you all for watching the show. And I ask you to please press like and subscribe.
Click.
And we hope to see you again soon here on Tin Roof Chef, where cooking done outdoors always tastes better.